So, our third date, huh? Isn't this where we start admitting our stranger quirks to each other? Well, got anything you want to tell me? Dark secrets, hidden desires, some things I should really know about you before we take this any further. I'll go first then. I'm into hypnosis. Yep, I'm really into it. And if we're going to be an item, you and I want to play around with it in our relationship. I hope it's not going to be a deal breaker. There's tons of fun stuff you can do with hypnosis, and I would really like to explore them with you. It's alright if you've never been hypnotized before. All I need is for you to be open to the idea. Going into a trance is a skill, something you'll get better at with practice. And don't worry, I'm a very good teacher. Well, I'm glad that you're willing to give it a shot. That's all I ask. You're gonna love it, you'll see. Hypnosis is really amazing. There's a lot of misconceptions about it, you know. So many people think it's got something to do with sleep. That hypnotizing someone means getting them to relax so deeply that they fall into some kind of sleep. And I mean, that's one way to do it, sure. It's called a relaxation induction, and it works pretty well. But hypnosis doesn't really have anything to do with sleep at all. It's actually a state of extreme focus. For example, when I'm doing a relaxation induction, what I'm really doing is making my subject focus, first on their body, and then on the sound of my voice, until my voice becomes the only thing they're still aware of. Becoming completely focused on one thing. That is what hypnosis is all about. It's like being engrossed in a good book, being riveted by someone's explanation, or getting lost in your own thoughts and doing something else on autopilot. Of course, those are only really light states of trance, and the trick is to get people to go deeper. So much deeper. But focus. Focus is the key. What it really takes to hypnotize someone is to get them to focus on something. And when you see hypnosis being used in fiction, you'll see hypnotists use a spiral or a pocket watch. And it seems tropey, but that's actually something they're getting more or less right. You could hypnotize someone by making them focus on a spiral or a pocket watch. You can use anything really, although it's always easiest with something that naturally catches the eye. Something that's fascinating to look at. A shiny pendant works really well, for example, but personally, I like to use my eyes. They are my best feature, after all. Well, I like to think that I have several great features, but my eyes are definitely one of them. There's something about them that seems to draw people in. They look into my eyes and then just keep looking deeper and deeper, and that's perfectly fine. To be honest, it wouldn't really matter how I hypnotized you if I were only going to do it once. But if I'm going to do it over and over again, eventually your mind is going to associate looking into my eyes with sinking into a trance for me, with listening to my voice and following my instructions, with believing everything I tell you and doing everything I say. And there's all kinds of fun we can have with that. Like, imagine we're having a dinner together with friends or family, and I draw your attention, meet your eyes, and tell you to pass me the salt. It wouldn't sound like a command, but it wouldn't sound quite like a question either. Nobody would even notice. They'd just take it as an innocent request, one you would obviously fulfill. They wouldn't think about it twice. But you'd know, and I'd know, that in that moment it would be impossible for you to do anything other than to obey. And I like the idea of that. I like the idea of that very much. Besides, eventually, at some point, I'm bound to tell you to do something that you really don't want to do, and you'll try to resist. Maybe you'll even start breaking free from my control. And when that happens, it's not like I can just pull out a spiral or a pocket watch and make you submit to my will again. Not if there's anyone watching us. But if I'm always using my eyes to put you under my spell, well, in that case, it won't matter where we are, how many people are around. All I will have to do is to get right up close to you, make you look into my eyes, look deeply into my eyes, and you will become putty in my hands again. Your mind will melt all over again, and then I will lean in and whisper into your ear for a while. We'll be like two lovebirds sharing an intimate moment together. But when it's over, you will be mine again. You'll be mindlessly obedient again and do whatever I want you to. Yes, I'm definitely going to use my eyes to hypnotize you. And frankly, my eyes are far more compelling than any spiral too. I don't even have to tell you to look into my eyes, because you've been doing that for quite some time already. And all you want to do is to keep looking deeper and deeper. You're already transfixed, completely focused on my eyes, and my voice, hanging on to every word. You know what that means? It means you're already hypnotized, deeply hypnotized. So, let go and sink for me. Melt for me. Perfect. Putty in my hands. But it's said that hypnosis isn't mind control, and I suppose that's true in a way. To really take control of someone's mind, that takes conditioning too. And we're going to get started on that right away. Kneel. Get on your knees. That's it. Now look up at me and eyes on mine. I like you this way. Obedient, compliant, submissive. Now keep your eyes on mine and repeat after me. You can say it in your mind, or you can say it out loud, but you will say it. I will obey. Say it. Good job. Keep looking into my eyes and keep repeating it. Very good. You know, it doesn't matter why you're doing as I say right now. It doesn't matter if you think you're choosing to obey me. It doesn't matter if you think you're just pretending to be hypnotized, or if doing this is simply something you're okay with. It doesn't even matter if you're already so deeply hypnotized that what you want to do is completely irrelevant. It does not matter at all. What matters is that you obey. I'm gonna train you, pet. I'm going to hypnotize you over and over again. I'm gonna condition you like this over and over again. And every time I do, you're gonna fall a little deeper under my spell. You're gonna lose a little more of your will to me until your mind is completely mine. I'll be able to tell you to do anything, and you will simply obey. And if you ever even think about resisting me, I will tell you to look into my eyes, and you will melt for me. You will melt, and you will obey, and that sounds wonderful, because it feels good to obey. Say it. It feels good to obey. Good job. I am brainwashing you, and you like it. Because, say it with me, it feels good to obey. Yes, you love the idea of being under my spell, because it feels good to obey. You want me to take control, because it feels good to obey. Uh-huh. And you want to obey. Isn't that right? Good job. You've done very well. So, I got a little reward for you. Just hold still. And there we go. A nice collar. Sure, it only exists in your mind, but it isn't any less real because of it. You belong to me now. But I can tell that you're tired, that all of this training has worn you out. Look at you. You can barely even keep your eyes open. You feel so heavy and tired, drowsy and sleepy, and that's alright. You can take a little nap. You can just let go and sleep. Sink and sleep for me. Sleep. Wake up, pet. Come to think of it, hypnosis might have a little to do with putting you to sleep after all. We're all done with our first session. You probably don't remember all of that much of it. You went quite deep. In fact, I bet you don't even remember falling asleep at all, do you? Didn't think so. You really are a very responsive subject. I'm gonna have a lot of fun training you. It was fun, right? Well, there's a lot more of it coming. A couple more hypnosis sessions, quite a bit more good old fashioned conditioning, and I'll have you eating out of my hand before you know it. You will do, think, believe whatever I want you to. That sounds good, doesn't it? Look at me. Eyes on mine. It sounds good to you. You want me to take control of your mind. You want to obey because it feels good to obey. Right? I'll see you again tomorrow, pet.